Hey guys and gals, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, every single one of you. It is so great to have you. It is a pleasure, as usual. Great to have you. Guys, gals, thank you so much for your patience. I was just briefly trying to figure out what's going on with Streamlabs chat. So I know I'm able to go on the actual stream, right? And paste commands and such there. I was able to actually get it to work yesterday. I'm trying to figure out. Hello, welcome. How is it going? That is cheers for you. Cheers for you for showing up. Bear with me, guys. We're going to get going here soon. Shortly. Just, what is up? What is up? I'm not sure. I don't know. I kind of got lucky yesterday. I was doing something, and I went to my chatbot, and I was able to kind of get it to work. I don't know what I did. It just kind of just happened. Interesting. Everything happens through chat too. I wonder. This isn't another way of doing things, is it? No. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, I might just ignore it, guys. It's really interesting. What is up? Streamlabs, your chat and your software is now broken since your last two updates. Wild sauce. Okay, no sense crying in the cornflakes because it could be worse. Alright, we're going to get to this. The great thing about watching content when it's not live, you can skip forward to the exciting stuff. Isn't that great? Alright, let's get this running. Open up connecting to chat. It's kind of funny, actually. Things work, things don't work. Some fake coder probably codes using AI only. Knows enough to be dangerous. All right. Where were we? We did a player manager. Bringing this back up. Here we go. So we've got our player manager done, complete. This is great. Going back to Form 1, Form 2. Again, now we got a background, guys. Seeing the words here is no big deal. It's not that important. Yeah, we got that there still. What else can we do? We don't need to do that. All right, let's go through our fields and make certain we have everything. Those are all good. Working. Spawn position. It's just random coordinates. player speed and all that. We're going to need all that. I don't have a rectangle because that's the spawn. So if you're watching my other game, the game I'm actually slowly building, I get a speed boost, and then there's like this kind of man, I wish I could get words better in my mind, like a force field surrounding them, right? And so that's what that is. And it's actually a rectangle, but you could actually paint it as an ellipse and not a rectangle. So that's pretty cool. I will try to show that to you. Does that sound good? The main goal for this was kind of just to get a player moving on screen. That's really the main goal I was kind of going for when I started this little venture. All right, we've got that. We're good there. Just kind of going back and forth on the code here. Form 1 load. Okay, whoops. Right there. And okay, we've got that in there. Perfect. We're not done with our timer yet. So I'm just kind of getting a grasp of where we are in code here. That's all, guys. So plus you get to kind of go through it and see it and do this yourself if you like. By all means, open source, but you have to type it.
Oh no, I have to use a keyboard. What am I gonna do?
It's all for fun, guys. It's all for fun. Okay. Back to this. I must ignore connecting to chat. It's making my eye twitch. Yay! What do you mean, yay? What are you doing, kids? It's not yay. Oh, man. Okay, we've got that. We've got that. We've got that. That's all complete. And we've got our initialize animation timer. We're actually newing up a timer, but we do need to create a timer here so that we have the events ye must be able to use. So, but that's the link up regardless. Okay, we've got that. I've added the countdown. I thought maybe I could try to fit that in. Let's do the player UI, I guess. We'll do that now. Okay, let's start grinding code. Private void. I'm calling it update player UI. It's a method. There we go. If normally I like to use curly brackets, but sometimes curly brackets are not necessary. Okay, so I called my player. My player is called my player, right? Where is that again? Image. I don't have per se. Yeah, this one's set up different, right? Because I actually have an image player in my other one. Just to be clear, the player is being painted on. It's not an actual picture box, right? So a picture box is another way of moving a character around. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. My player. There's my player. We're newing it up. We're newing up my player. I gotta use the object. This is the object. My player. If my player object is not equal to or equal to null, that's what it is. Equal to null, which means if it does not exist, return. Oh, this one set up the brackets for me. You don't necessarily need the curly brackets, but we're gonna leave it. I like curly brackets, I'll add them in, but you know, if it's just like one line of code, it's a simple return, you don't need them. Okay. Now, bool, we're going to do, and this is called a local variable. So it goes out of scope as soon as it reaches this curly bracket. Okay? So if you're wondering if you have to clean up that mess, you do not. The great thing about Winforms, or even C# in general, it's C# or the .NET framework. They have a garbage collector system. Okay, garbage collector. Let's see if I can find something on the garbage collector. I usually do screenshots of some information I feel might be helpful. It's all part of the learning process, but I don't know, is it in memory maybe? Could be. It makes sense that I would have it in memory. I thought maybe I called it garbage collection or something. Cleanup. That's okay. We'll carry on. Okay, is moving. So yes, and it's like that because, well, we gotta. It's the squiggly lines are there because, well, we haven't used it yet. That's all it is. We must use it. We can type stuff, but if it's not being used, it's nothingness, useless. So now we're going to actually use our bools. Remember, our move, our bools, right? Anytime we press the keyboard, right? The arrow buttons or the WASD, when they're up, they're false, right? So that's how the magic happens under the hood for that. First, we're going to do move left. So this must be true in order to go into the block of code. Okay? Once you understand these little details, coding gets easier. I need to kind of, I don't know, wake up or something here, but let's just keep going. So my player being an object, we have access to information through the player manager class, boys and girls. Minus equals. This you have to pay attention to. Player speed. Why? This is why I hate typing, because I'm a backwards typer. I don't know how to explain this. My left hand does all the typing before even my right hand wakes up. I don't know. Don't cheat in typing class, kids. Yeah, that's a guarantee. Definitely don't do that. Okay, all right. My player dot start x minus equals player speed when you're going left, it's a negative. Boys and girls, that's why it's negative. And now my player, current direction, we're gonna call that again, the object, and the current direction, which is part of the player manager class. And we're going to access direction and dot left. This is through the enum connecting the chat core direction. Through the enum. Okay? Right here. Okay, guys and gals? And I'm kind of one-lining this, which is fine. And then is moving, right? We gotta tell it that it's true. All right, boom. And there we go. So that's the first one. And whoops, it's pretty much consistent from this point. The next one's going to be right, and it's all going to be true. So really what I'm going to do is, I'm not really cheating. What's going on here? Why is the squiggly line still... Hold up. Remove... No. No. Bool is moving equals false. I don't know why it's squiggling there still. Very odd. Okay, let's do right. And again, here we got to be consistent, right? Now the direction is right. And it's still going to be is true. Okay, but the sign changes here. Okay, we're going right. Well, what's the opposite of minus? Well, that is plus. Okay, so be aware of that. The signs there are very important. And up. If we're going up, that means we're going up. This will be negative again, right? Because remember, let me just go like this. I'm going to go negative. So remember on here, 0, 0 is here. Going to the right is positive. Going down is positive. It's just kind of separate the mathematics from your screen space, if you will. Okay? So it's a little bit of relearning. I don't know why this is doing this. It's trying to force. I'm going to be using it. See, this is, so even though I have it here, technically per se, I haven't really utilized it, right? I don't know what the best way to explain that. There's got to be a good way to explain that. But I'll show you. I'll show you exactly where it's being used. Okay, now let's get the last one done. Down. Down's going to be positive, right? Remember, down is positive. Change this to down. And then these are always going to be true, right, guys? Okay. Okay. Double check here. Move left. Oh, yeah. Silly me. That's the other thing, right? Maybe you even noticed it, which is great. So left and right would be X coordinate, right? Horizontal. X is going to be horizontal. Y is going to be vertical. So you're going to really have problems if you don't change this as well. So do pay attention to those sort of things. That's why I kind of go over the code a little bit. It's like, I know about it, but sometimes you just got to remind yourself. It's easy to kind of oversight code. That's why they don't recommend you copy and paste. Okay, so move left. My player dot start X, right? Remember, these are public. These are the start X variables I'm using. Right? Now, if you're trying to understand how it links up to the player manager, okay, so newing up is dynamic. Dynamic means running, like actually running. So when you're running the game, that's dynamic. Things are moving or in motion. Okay? The way you link the two up is right here. This is it right here. Okay? When we create this, right, because here's our player manager class. This is our object. We're newing up. Newing up is for dynamic memory. And there we go. That's the link between player manager and form 1. All right? Because you have to have that, you have to link them together. Okay, guys? Right? You can't make the magic happen unless it's like two separate identities. You have to link them together so they can communicate with each other. All right? Okay, here's where I'm actually going to. So this is the point where we're actually using the bool is moving. Okay? So if you're wondering why it's like this, even though you've got this here, all we're doing is saying it's true here inside these if statements, right? That's all that we're doing. We're just kind of changing it. Again, here, if I find my bools, is moving. Did I put that in a different spot? Oh, right, it's global. Local. Silly me. Let's do this. It's not global. It's local. Okay, getting back on track, right? So right here we have initialized it to be false, right? So that's its starting state as false. Inside the if statement, so anytime this becomes true, which is whenever we press the button on our keyboard, that's when it becomes true, right? Through code. When the key is down, it becomes true. Okay? And so then inside the block of code, all this magic is happening. Our player's moving, the direction's going to be negative. Our current direction, this is the link up to right here. Down is 0, left is 1. It's an enum, so it's helpful for the code, for a direction sense. Direction dot left, and then we're saying is moving equals true. This is within the block of code. We're not actually utilizing the variable or the bool. Okay? Let me show you this. So watch. As soon as we put it inside this block of code, which is interesting to say, it becomes good. This is the point where we're actually using it. Here it's a different sense. Like I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this so you understand. Right? This is just kind of, look at it like this is just information. Right? This is actual utilization. It's the best way I could kind of explain that. I'm sure there's a better way, but I think that helps, right? I hope so. Okay. I'm going to do this. And I just closed the stream so I didn't have that. Obviously, I'm upstreaming, but I don't want to be downstreaming while I'm upstreaming. Kind of just kind of, it's kind of like cleaning up resources in your task manager, right? But in the sense, it's cleaning up my bandwidth. Okay, is moving. So now we're going to actually use this. Is it in here? Did I actually put it in here yet? Because that's not a local, that's a global variable. I can tell by the coloration. Where did I put that? That's interesting. Okay, I don't know why I didn't do it this way. Let me show you a quick way of trying to find something in code. There it is. Okay, oh yeah, it's up by walking. Okay, there we go. I didn't have this. I need this one here. This one's important. Okay, slow down frame rates, right? It's kind of has to do, it's with the, to help with, so we have 4 images per direction, right? 4 times 4 is 16. So this is to help work with those 4 animations per direction. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and the reason I know it should be an M, I should be consistent. You don't need the M. You could put like just an underscore. That just, when somebody looks at your code or goes through your code, they can see that that's part of a class. Plus, it also tells them that it's a private variable. Okay, there's like little hidden things, like when you type letters, right, or variables, and you may look at it and see it as just a series of, you know, letters and such making words, but it actually has more meaning to what it as a coder, they know the differences, right? So I'm being a bit lazy. I should be consistent, and the smartest thing to do when you're changing stuff is to do it like this. You don't need to highlight it, but just get the cursor over it, right click, rename. This is the smartest way to do it because it updates every single one in your whole form, right? Because if you do it, if you try to change it just like right here, let me do this. If you try to change it here like this, that's not changing it throughout your code. So now you're going to have to look for it in your code and change it throughout. Okay. I haven't used it yet. It's kind of, I don't really want to say ghosted. Ghost is not really the situation the variable is in. It's more like, and sickly is kind of a terrible word to use as well. It's not bright, it's not standing out, right? So that tells me it's not being used yet. Okay, and the program's kind of yelling at me saying, hey, turn it to a read only. But once you start actually using it in your code, then the program's going to be yelling at you, hey, you can't use this because it's read only. So just so you understand, guys, right? Not always is it a good idea to use the recommendations. You can change it to read only, it's fine, but when you actually use the variable in code, then the program's going to say, hey, you can't use this because it's like a const, right? And then it's just a matter of getting rid of the read only. So I already understand the scenario, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, and I'm going to rename this one. I should be consistent throughout. I should be, because everything's private. So, but anyways, to save some time, let me do that. Same here as well. We'll just do that. And again, it updates it. When I do it like that, rename, this is the best way to do it. It'll update every single one, even in the code behind. It's very important. Okay? So again, even with anything, for, let's say you can't change a constructor name because that it has to match exactly the class name. These have to match, exact match. A constructor exact matches the class name, always. Okay, so but let's say you want to change your method. This is the way to do it. Change it like this. Rename it, and it'll change it. Like, let's say I'm using this method inside my Form 1. It'll update that as well in your Form 1. Way less stress for you, right? It does it all automatically for you. Okay, guys? Little tips. All right. Okay, back to here. Again, I should be doing proper. Every single one of these, I should be doing that, right, guys? Because they're all private. Whoops, you can't use that. It has to be an underscore. Okay? So, again, when you're following standards and standard practices, or even industry standards, you want to be consistent. Okay? Don't have like some are and some aren't. Public ones don't need that, right? So if it's a public variable, do I have any public variables? I do. See? Public variables don't need it, right? So that's the difference. In this case, normally myself, I'll have a lowercase, and I'm going to have argue. See? Look at that. Naming rule violation, because I didn't do it the right way. Right, guys? I have to do it the proper way by using rename. Okay? If you get that sort of stuff, then you like just do undo. All right? I'm going to leave it. It's good enough. But sometimes I'll have this lowercase. This is uppercase for sure. That's called camel case. I don't want to go into the teaching part, but I'm just kind of giving you some little subtle support. Whoops. Let me see. I'm gonna find something. I have this long, like it's crazy long document that I created when I was doing C++ and teaching. Where is that again? All right, go into the C++ folder. Silly. I know it's annoying. Stream random. And not the math one, this one. This document has 167,383 characters. Even has its own table of contents. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to find something. It's in regards to industry standards and naming practices. I feel like it was at the bottom, but I've been kind of trying to organize it. Oh, here we go. Escape characters. Did I pass it? C++ keywords you never use. That's C++. But C# might be the same. Like this. You never use that as a variable. Okay, here we go. Pascal case. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Pascal case for naming classes. That means, like, here, let me show you, right? So going back to here, our class, look, it's uppercase. That's what it means. Okay, and then you got camel case. Consts are usually like written like this. I'll actually use C instead of M. So that's one of the things I like to do now. Private, again, that's private. Snake case. This is all private stuff. And then you got lowercase, camel case, Pascal case, snake case. There's it goes on. There's a few here. Styles. Here we go. Okay. And it's not just C++. It's kind of like a across the board industry thing, a coding industry thing. Okay, snake case, Pascal case, and camel case. And then they have this old Hungarian notation style, which is not, Microsoft doesn't use it. I think it was something like that. Yeah, Microsoft has recently moved away from and recommends not using this type of notation. They're talking about Hungarian. It's really redundant to put an I there. Okay, so the way to figure it out, it's pretty simple. If you're going through somebody's code and you see I party size, for example, if I could type I party size equals 7, right? It's obvious that it's an integer, right? Anybody with a little bit of brain knowledge could easily figure that out. Right? Anyways, so there you go. Okay. You got a little kind of what's the word I could use? Insight, I guess, into my 167,000 letter my notepad document in regards to C++. Some of it is on my GitHub, so if you go across my YouTube channel, Bologna&Weiners Coding, it's there, and there's a link for GitHub. It's on there. I put some of the information on there. I should literally write a book. I need to figure a way to make bank. One of these days, so many things going on. It's like creating so many projects, doing so many things. A lot of things started. I need to start finishing things. That's what I really need to do. Okay. Back to code. So that's kind of a breakdown. Again, I'm not consistent, and I should be, right? Be consistent. If you're going to use an M, use an M. If you're not going to use one, don't use one, right? It all means the same. And anything that's private, right? Because it looks funny, to be honest. And I'll fix up some of these. That's private static. Home underscore. Just hit enter. Again, the best way to do it is just like this. Everything's updated across the board. Okay, guys? There's a few here. Again, we're just kind of practicing, messing around, and just making the magic happen is what we're doing. And there we go. Okay, I got most of them right. This one here I'm going to fix as well. Just to be consistent, I'm going to get rid of the M. There we go. Okay. And look, see? Updated right here. No errors. And that's a big yays. Okay, let's finish and continue. Okay. Let's finish our if block of code for is moving. Slow down frame rates. So that's why I went up top here, because I needed it. I'm used to kind of copying and pasting. I know I could go like this and then just go S, L, and there we go. I have it here in my pull down list. This tells me it's a locked field. Okay, field. It's private, right? And then I could just tab, but we're not saying it's equal to 0. We're using what's called an increment operator. That comes from C++. And really all it is we're just saying slow down frame rates +1. Okay? But because we're putting this inside our timer, which is where we're going to be calling the method, Just gonna have a quick look. Yeah. No. Yes, it is. It's inside our timer tick event, and that's what the timer tick event does. It keeps things kind of running. It's almost like you're doing a while loop in a sense. Okay. All right. There we go. And then we're gonna have another if statement. You can have as many as you want. If the slowdown frame rate, this again, remember I was talking about 4 images per direction, right? If it's greater than or equal to 4, right? Because there's only 4 images, and equal to means inclusive. Okay? Adding the equal sign makes it inclusive. Another way of doing this is going like that, saying greater than 5, right? The 4 is still inclusive, but it can't be greater than 4 because now the 4 is not inclusive. Okay? Four images per direction. All right. Let's use the myPlayer object again. Dot separator. We want the animation frame rate, and we're going to increase that. We're going to increment it. Okay, +1, and it's going to keep getting looped and increased through the timer. All right, and then each time we're going to zero out. Inside this block of code, each time we're going to zero out. It's kind of like starting this all over again. You have to understand code. Again, this is the part of the thinking like a computer. Once you get better at this, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so else. And we're going to go like this. And what we're doing here is when idling, it's an idling state. So if the player is not pressing any buttons, we're going to have the player always face a certain direction. Okay, and that's what this is doing. The animation frame rate is going to be equal to 0. Okay, let's go into here. Animation frame rate, they're getters and setters. Getters and setters work with the constructor. Okay, here's the starting point, 0. So what we're doing is we're setting, it's kind of like initializing it. We're initializing it to 0, essentially. And then the animation frame rate, we're doing through this public method, the image. And again, it's modulo 4 because it's 4 images per direction, right? Safely loops 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 inside our constructor, our 2D array. Okay, this is kind of cool, right? Because it's actually utilizing a 2D array, right? A lot of people when they're learning, I guess I call them linear arrays. Would be one way of looking at it. Yeah, linear arrays, and then you have 2-dimensional arrays, and actually you can go up to 3, 4. Can get really crazy. And every time I think of it, I just think matrices. I actually liked matrices when I was doing calculus in college. It's fun, good times. Okay. And there we go. So we're kind of resetting the animation frame to 0. That direction is looking down. It's the looking forward position. So inside of our, let's see, let me go like this so you can see what I mean. They're inside here, right? So I'm gonna go like this, right? So this is our 0, right? It's gonna put it back to this state, essentially. All right, guys? Oh, come on, go in there. Ugh. Okay, go like this. It's a little bit of pain here. I'm working with, I have my File Explorer open. I got 4 tabs even on the File Explorer. Wild sauce. I'm just kind of being chill today, guys. Chill day coding, streaming, entertaining you, or at least trying to. Helping you learn, helping you grow. Because why not? Let's go! Where'd that come from? Whoa! I thought it was all quiet in, I don't know, in the hills. I thought it was all quiet up in the hills. But it's not. Let's go. Turn it up, guys. You guys showing up in bling bling? L1 fed. Let's go. This is for you. Check it out. And you're awesome. So just so you understand, my Streamlabs, it's had updates of the last couple of days. And my actual chats, like obviously Streamlabs is working, but the that's why I called the program connecting the chat, because it's stuck on a loop and it's like connecting the chat, and that's my Streamlabs. So I can't really post or comment or anything, but I can do it if I bring the actual stream up, right? You understand what I mean? So just so you know, that's why I'm not really chatting, but I am talking. And to add, it's so great to have you here. Thank you for showing up and hitting the old, whammo blammo button. I love it. It's great to have you. So I'm going to do this. If I could just focus. I need my chat bots. And I'm going to do this. I need sound files, because if I could do it through Streamlabs, I would. But that's okay. We'll make it happen. We have ways. We have ways of doing things another way. There's always another way. This is for you. I have to go to the browser to do it. Kind of wild sauce. Boom. I have to fix up some of my emotes, it looks like. All right, it's amazing. Thank you so much for hitting the follow button, whatever it's called. It's great to have you. You're an amazing individual. Appreciate you. Okay, I shall continue. Let's keep going, guys. We'll try to get this done so I can actually get a player moving. I tend to kind of go on and on and on a little bit, but I'm also trying to help you guys learn as well. I'm not going to be one of those guys that just spams a bunch of code on the screen and go, look at me, I know what I'm doing, and then not explain anything and then just leave people confused. I don't want to do that. I want you to understand. Okay, this here has to do with refreshing the screen. So it's all has to do with your graphics card. And if you understand like kind of how the magic works on your it doesn't matter if it's on your laptop screen or a PC screen, your screen is being refreshed all the time. Okay, and that's what this is doing. This is part of that. It's called and it's a method. Anytime you see a method, it's the purple cube, and it's called this invalidate. Because this method here, which we still have to call, it's kind of not ghosted, but it's kind of like not bright, the text, and that means I haven't called it yet. So it gives you that's the nice thing about Visual Studio. It gives you that subtle hint. Hey Bob, come on, wake up. You haven't even called your method. It's an easy oversight. You could create methods all day, but if you don't call your method, they're kind of useless. Okay? The methods make the magic happen. So there we go. That's the code for updating the player UI and the movements. These are all bools. And then if this is true, right, if the player is actually moving, we're going to have that slow down frame rate. So it's going to kind of reset 0 through 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And if you add it together, that equals 4, right? Crazy to say, it doesn't make any sense. But when you're working with computers, like as humans, we count from 1, right? But with computers, just think binary, zeros and ones, and just remember that computers count starting from 0, right? Zeros inclusive. Okay? So if you say 0, 1, 2, 3, well, I just said 4 numbers, right? All right, let's go. Okay, and then I have my cleanup crew, but let's call this method. And I'm just gonna kind of copy and paste it. I wanted to type it up for you guys, go through it, explain it a little bit. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna call it inside of our timer tick event. Okay, and boom, there we go. Okay, make the magic happen. So how far we've gotten here? Let's keep going. Now, those of you that are dropping by and watching this, if you follow kind of the videos I got so far, this is video 3 for this. It's a little bit lengthy, I know. I'm talking and chatting with chatters and what else not. I'm trying to, hurry up. I'm doing my best. Plus, I'm kind of explaining things as well. So that all takes time. Time adds up, right? So, but if you want to do this yourself, I'm not hiding any of the code. You could actually copy it and type it yourself and just do this. It's kind of like no different than somebody learning BASIC back in the old days, right? Line 100, line 200, you know what I mean? And then just typing up something on maybe their Commodore 64 or whatever. Back in the day they did stuff, and you can do the same. It's no different, right? You may not understand everything that you're typing, but you're at least doing it and learning little things, and you're kind of seeing how things kind of work together when you're doing code. We're working with the C# language. This is Winforms. Again, Winforms is not really something common that people would use to make games, but the reason I'm using it, it's quick, it's easy. I get a GUI, a graphical user interface, bang, bingo, bango, bongo immediately. That's why I like Winforms. I don't have to worry about typing code up for a GUI. Okay? So what I mean is, since we typed up a little bit of code, I'm just going to run it for the viewer and the follower. This is where we're at so far. This is a GUI. GUI is a graphical user interface. So whatever you see on the screen, GUI for short, right? And again, there are other engines you could use for creating 2D games. In the last video series, I explained some of them, like Unity is one of them. I've delved into Unity. That's all C# code. I've done that. Also, there's Godot, and I don't know, for some reason I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. What's it called? Let's see. Okay, what do I type here? What are some gaming engines? I don't know what to type to be honest. Where are some gaming engines you can use? Maybe it'll bring it up here. So Unreal Engine, there we go. That's another one. Again, if you're used to learning new software, guys, I believe you could learn new software. Learning new software and how to use it isn't really that troublesome. Okay, guys? If you've learned, I don't know, whatever software in school, learning a new software is not that difficult. Okay, I believe in you guys. You guys could do it. If you're interested in doing any getting into doing some of your own digital artwork, again, that's another full-time thing on its own. If you could do digital artwork, you're winning. Okay, if you could do digital artwork plus do the coding, you're really winning. Okay, you could totally be an indie developer, especially if you know how to draw and stuff. If you don't, that's fine, right? Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. It doesn't matter who you are, right? We're all designed differently, right? But that's okay. I've done a little bit of digital art. I've done some, cleaning up backgrounds and maybe some character creation and such. These aren't all mine. Some, like this is mine. I've done this, a little bit of dithering. But this here, these are, I'm creating a game myself, and I'm putting in the copyright where I'm getting these from. So I'm trying to promote the artists that have created this, because they're just small time artists and they're great at what they do, and I want to try to promote them. Okay. So once, I'm hoping and praying I could get a game released on Steam. That's kind of the goal. I hope it works out. I just need to kick myself in the butt, and just keep at it. Right, so Krita's free to download. So if you want to learn a little bit of digital artwork, I recommend doing a little bit of research on the history of digital art, or even just pixels. Like you have 8x8 sprites, you have 16x16 sprites, 32x32 sprites, 64x64 sprites, and all that. Again, just go into a little bit of the history, like in regards to 2D. Just focus on 2D digital art. If you are an artist and you like to draw, right? This may be your thing. It's not going to be an easy journey. You just gotta motivate yourself and stay positive. Okay. So there's that. Yeah, and Krita, you're supporting the little guy. You're supporting other digital artists. So that's why I promote Krita, because I'm trying to help the little guy. Okay? All right. Let us continue, shall we? All right, so we've got that. I'm just kind of going through my code here. We've got our keyboard controls so far. I haven't gone into overrides yet, which I need to do with the timer tick, right? So I've created this timer, right? I'm newing up a timer here, okay? And I have to actually stop the timer and do all that stuff, because the timer will just keep running, right? That makes sense, right? If you don't stop something, it's just going to keep going. Okay? The thing about, with coding, you got to learn about cleaning up memory and doing a little bit of what people call housekeeping. C# has its own garbage collector, which will dispose of stuff for you. Now talking about that, since we're talking about that, let's Is it in here? Is it in the designer? Yes, it's in the designer, in the code behind. Okay, this is updated for you in the background for you. Okay, and inside of it, it has a protected override void dispose. Okay, so we don't actually, I could actually take this, copy it, and put it inside my code, but I'm going to get conflictions, right? So check it out. Let me show you, right? Here we go. See, it automatically tells me Form 1 already defines a member called dispose, and is basically saying, what are you doing, Bob? What are you doing? I already did that for you. What you doing? Right? So be aware of that, okay? There's no need. So when you see that, that's exactly where it is. It's inside our designer code, which is correlated with our form, okay? So just quietly close that. Don't do any editing in there. If you break your form, you may have to go into there to fix your designer just so that you can see your form again, because you can break your form if you start deleting events and stuff. You really have to be careful when you're doing those sort of things. You can't just delete, you just can't randomly start deleting certain things. Like your own variables, your own methods, you could get away with doing that. But when you start deleting events through your code behind, right? Because they're linked up right here, right? If I just start deleting this, then we're going to have problems, especially anything related to the form. Okay, so there we go. Okay, we're going to do some overrides. Now, as a tip, I'll just do this quickly. See if I can find it. I should be able to find it quickly. In here, it has to do with memory. Was it that one? Maybe it was in here. Let's see if I can find it again. Unform closed. Okay. So here, I'll quickly explain. Okay. Let me quickly explain. So I click my form. I can create my own events. I totally can. I can create my own form closed event. Okay? I totally can do that. Okay, so let me just share something with you. You shouldn't have duplicate things happening. It's like, how do I say this? You can't have both. You can only have one. It's either an event that you create through here. It's an A or B thing. Okay, you can't have both. So you have to pick and choose. But here's the advice. If you already have both and your code is behaving strangely, delete the event subscription. That's exactly what I was talking about here. In here, I could create my own event subscriptions, which I've already done. I've created the user key is down and the user key is up. Okay. Now we're working with keyboard here. You can't, don't recommend you drag and drop buttons on here. You're going to have problems. Okay. Save the buttons for your menus. Okay. Don't add buttons inside your gameplay when you're working with keyboards. You can, there's a workaround in code, but you're gonna have, the UI is kind of updating and invalidating or whatever that method's called. It's doing all that, right? But you're gonna end up with conflictions between your mouse clicks and your keybinds. Okay. There's conflictions that can happen, all right? Just throwing that out there. Okay, so we're going to use, so again, it's recommended to use your overrides. Stick to the overrides, okay? That's the recommended choice, all right? So if you're wondering, I just answered that question for you. So we're going to use protected, override. It's a void. It's a method. It's going to be called on handle created. On handle created event args e. These are all built in behind the scenes for us. Oh, it even added that in nicely for us. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want. So the reason I'm doing this is because we have to, you see the plus and minus, like with events, we have to subscribe and unsubscribe from our events. All right. And let me just show you something here. I'm going to actually add this. Do I have this? I'm going to show it to you. I don't even have that up. Okay. I could copy it from another program. I'll just do it quickly. But I'm going to copy and paste this so you can see the subscription. Okay. And that's in regards to our timer, animation timer tick. Sure, I'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, to speed things up a little bit, I'm just going to kind of copy and paste because I've been talking a little bit and I should hurry up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So here's our animation. Oh, here's a quick tip. You could double click if you want to look for something in code quickly, and let's say you had 2,000 lines of code and you don't want to spend the time scrolling. Well, if you just double click it, it shows it right here, all the different locations. It gives like a little white square or a white rectangle, and you can just go like this and go right to it. And it's automatically highlighted for you as well. That's nice. I love that. It shows you all the different locations that your object is being used. Okay, this is creating the object. Our timer, we're initializing things. And then here I'm subscribing to it through the override. Okay. And in turn, we can also unsubscribe. So this one that one's called on handle created. Let's do the opposite, which is called, I'll type this up, protected, override, void, on handle, destroyed. It already knows what I'm doing. So it's just a simple tab. Okay, you can't really console write line to an unsubscribe event because everything's closing immediately. So there is no print it to console, right? So there is another way of doing it, and that's through a message box. Okay. And I'm going to change this to say connecting to chat. It's a message box, okay? That's built in. Message box comes from System, Windows, Forms, okay? And again, it's a method. All right. Now we're unsubscribing. So the plus equals is it. If I can get my words out, means that we're subscribing to the event. The opposite of plus is minus, right? So that means we're unsubscribing. All right, a little bit of cleanup. Okay. There's one more thing I'm going to need to show you so I could show you the actual, the magic happening through a console window. But I have to type up some more code to show you that. Override, we're going to do our on form closed. So instead of creating a form closed event, I'm going to do the override. And I didn't type anything properly there. Override. That's because I tabbed that, didn't I? It's not private, John. It's protected. No wonder why it's not seeing it. Holy Bob, you're so used to typing private all the time that you forget that you can type protected. It's protected override. That's why I didn't recognize it. Void, and then on form closed, which is in here somewhere. We got an on form closing, but we want the on form closed event. Okay, and I just tabbed and it automatically built it for us. Okay, this is where we have to stop the timer. And the reason for that is this is the little tips and tricks for you guys, right? So if you're creating, let's just say you're hypothetically creating a game through Winforms. And I've been through this already. I had to do all the figuring outs. Using my own brain molecules, right? I was actually against using AI at first, but AI can be helpful. So I'm kind of on the bandwagon with that a little bit. I recommend you kind of get to a point where you understand and you think like a computer, then you should have the right to use AI because you'll understand what you're doing a bit better. But anyways, not to go on a tangent. So to have a player spawn into a new form, so we have form 1, and let's say the player needs to go to form 2, right? You want to continue the game per se, right? Well, you have to stop the timer, okay? So I'm just throwing that out there. So we're going to use the animation timer. This is the point we have. This is another built-in method, okay? It's all correlated with the timer. Obviously, void timer stop. And then, again, I'm going to do the same thing. This time, I'm going enabled equals false. Okay? What else? Here's another tip. Some tips and advice for you. Because if you're planning on having a player go to the next stage, you must not call player dispose. In that case, it would be the my player. Because you will have issues. Okay? You don't want to destroy the player. Which is my player. So just so you understand. Tips and advice for you so you don't end up with problems. Alright. And then lastly, we do have to dispose of the image because it's using the image actually is using up resources. Dot dispose there. Okay. All right, and that's the end of our overrides. If I continue this, maybe we'll get into doing save player stuff. We'll see. Okay, are we painting the player yet? Have we done all that? We haven't painted the player yet, right? So you guys have probably been noticing, there's no player yet. Well, like I said, that sound is because that's just saying the timer tick event is unsubscribed. That's all that was. I don't know why I didn't see the message box. Interesting. It was just a message box kind of yelling at me a little bit. That's all it was. Okay, let me go. So like I said, yeah, we're painting the player. We're not using the picture box. Okay, we're using the on paint. But I have to get something else. Did I actually do some... What did I do? Well, I'm going to delete this anyways, so it doesn't matter. Close. I want to open up another... Because I have the code for... what I want to do is display the console. Okay? And then I'm going to do it through this. instead of typing it. There we go. So if you want a console to pop up, this is the code for the console. Okay? But we have to call that method, and that method's going to be called inside our constructor for form 1. Okay? I'm calling it inside the constructor for form 1. There. Okay, close. I could show you so many things, guys. It's crazy. Right? But you have to put in the time to watch. Okay? I am trying my best to kind of be fast and quick at this, but explaining takes time too. So here we go. So now it should, when I run it, I should get a console. Okay, there we go. Okay, and subscribed events, right? So that's through code. So now I know that this is actually part of the testing too. It's great to have. So now I know that the actual subscription for the timer event is working. Okay. Don't close that. But if I close here, I should be getting a message pop up, but I didn't get it. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, it's kind of yelling. Is it working great? I don't know. What the heck? All of that stuff collapsed? Why? All I did was save it and close it. What's up, Bob? Okay, that's okay. I gotta try to figure out what's going on, what's up. Always figuring stuff out. Never ending. Okay, that's all good. On form closed. What? How many? Oh, no wonder why. Okay. What? I had it open twice? What was I doing? Okay, good. All right. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. No, I'm just kidding. It seemed I had to... that's why things are collapsed. Okay, close this one. Bear with me, guys, gals. I want to check something out here. With my actual... the one I'm working on and building. Let's see. Okay, the override on form close. That's on top. And I'm calling. Oh, you can't call the console there. What the heck am I doing? Okay, interesting. Well, that's the music, so don't need that. Going here. That's at the bottom. I'm gonna do this. I was just trying to think. I always try to think of the best. So each line or each statement, where's the best position for that to actually happen? So it makes logical sense to have it at the end. So minus equals. This is all okay. It's the message box for some reason. I'm wondering why it's not showing up. So okay, it's not that critical, to be honest. It could be something else. We are running the timer tick event. Okay, let's just continue with code. And we'll figure it out kind of on the fly. Let's paint the character. Again, protected, not private. Protected. Override. Void. Now we're going to use the on paint. On paint. paint event args E. That actually brings it up automatically, which is good. So I'm gonna go graphics. Are we using G? I don't know. We can call it a canvas. Okay. All right, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. If my player is not equal to null, do this magic. Okay. Image frame. I typed that up. No, this is frame to draw. This is actually local frame to draw. Local to the method that we're working in right now. It's going to equal to not null, but my player dot get. Now we're actually calling the method. You guys have probably been watching and going, did I call it frame? I have to have a double check. Why did it do that? Interesting. Okay, there we go. You guys are probably wondering why, when I'm going to call this method. Okay, from the player manager right here. Okay, because we have the link, right? We're through the newing up and creating the object for the player, we can access the method from the class, right? This is all stuff you're going to learn if you're learning the code. Okay, it's very important to learn these details. I go over it and explain it just to help reassure or give you some reassurance and to be consistent with the coding lingo, right? So you understand. Okay. Okay. What's it saying, recommending here? Sometimes I ignore these. I don't like the discards. I like to have my own, even though it's a local variable. I could use a simple underscore. I could. I like to have letters and words. Oh, I'm putting that in the wrong spot. What am I doing? Oh, hang on. No, I'm fine. Silly me. We're fine. We're fine. It's going to be another if statement. That's why I was like, what? What am I doing? And then we're going to have an else statement as well. And it's been giving me these automatically. I'm used to actually typing them, but that's okay. So I'm going to copy this. If the frame to draw is not equal to null, canvas dot draw. These are things that you're going to learn once you're learning the on paint events. Okay, draw image built-in method from the on paint class, right? Or the graphics. Okay. If you're uncertain as to what, because methods can accept and take in, I want to use the right words. We pass in arguments, right? But we can give it parameters, right? We can give our methods that we create parameters, and then in those methods, when we actually call the methods, we're passing in arguments. Okay, and that's what we're doing. That's what we need to do. We need to pass in some arguments, and if you're not certain what it takes or accepts, it shows you here. Okay, it's so helpful. Frame to draw, comma, my player, dot. Now we're gonna, the location, right? This is where we're actually telling it where to print it, right? It needs to know where to put it. Make sense? My player. Is it making me type it? Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go like this because I'm not a fan of typing because I type backwards and it annoys me. player. I'm looking for player width and height. Width, and comma. Oh, that's what it is. Is it those not underscored or no? Okay, I have to double check that. I have to be careful. Underscore player height. Right there. Okay, and these are our arguments or our variables up top here. Okay, right here. We're passing them in. Okay, guys? So if it's not equal to null, it's going to draw the player. And the frame to draw is the image. Okay? Get current sprites. And then inside that method, there's a lot going on. We're doing a lot of stuff, right? And inside that method, it's going to be doing all the magic through here. Right? It's pretty cool. I'm using different code for moving the player, but I thought this is unique and I would just kind of share it with you guys and gals. Okay, so we can have a backup in case something breaks. It's kind of like a try-catch in the sense. It's not, but it's a little extra protection. I can null it, I guess. Let's do a fill. See, we can have a fill eclipse or a fill rectangle. I could use an eclipse, but that's okay. I use an eclipse for when I'm doing my speed run or when the player is has an invincible shield around it. I'll use ellipse. Okay, but we'll just use a rectangle just for now. We could change it later. Brushes, dots, whatever color, magenta, sure. And then this is all the same, right? I could literally copy the rest. Instead of doing the frame to draw, it's just gonna basically print in the same location all this stuff, size and everything. Okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy, isn't it? How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Wow. Hold up, guys, gals. Just wanted to kind of quench my thirst. We'll build that. Succeeded. Hopefully I've typed things without any issues. So going through this, we have our form closed override. We're going to dispose the background image. We're not going to dispose the player. I don't have a form 2 yet. I probably should dispose of the player. Technically speaking, I could do it. And the reason why, guys, gals, is because I don't have what am I doing? It won't allow me to actually, I don't know when oh yeah, right. I'm being silly. So in the code that I'm doing, I actually have, let me just show you here so you understand. I'm just cluing in because this is different. It's set up different, right? I'm not using an actual image. I'm actually using the player manager class to kind of pull the image. Right here it is, right? In the one I'm doing, I actually have the image of the player inside my form 1. So that's why I'm disposing it. And I just kind of clued in. I can't, and I'm kind of being silly. Just even like, what am I thinking? That's totally incorrect. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so you understand. Okay, inside the program or game I'm building, inside my Form 1, I actually have this. Okay? And this is the player that I'm actually disposing of. Kind of a bit of a derp going, what am I doing? You don't dispose of an object that you're newing up. Totally wrong. So because, why wouldn't it let me do that? I don't know what I did. I thought I double clicked that. Copy and paste, right? So here it works, right? See the difference, guys? Inside my player manager, I have the image, okay, which is going to be basically the movement sprites. And it's a getter setter, essentially. And in here as well. But anyways, that's the difference. I'm being silly. Silly, silly, silly. So I'm going to go like this. Like this. So you're not going to dispose of the player if your image is inside your main form. Okay? You would then dispose of your image if you don't have a Form 2. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. It was a redundant explanation. There was no reason I even needed to bring that up. But if you're doing something like this, if it's the case, if you don't have a player manager, right, and your image is inside your main form, you do have to dispose of it. Unless, of course, you have a Form 2 and you want the player to spawn to Form 2, well, then you don't dispose of it. All right? So I'm going to get off that topic, and that's the difference. Okay, that's all I kind of wanted to get at. So I'm going to delete this because it's not necessary here. Different scenario, different code setup. Okay. Let me close this and double check that we have everything done. I just want to kind of go over this and make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see, form closed. We got our on handle done. On paint, we're actually going to be hopefully painting a player. The override will do it automatically. It's magical. I love it. I don't need to call it. Okay? You don't call those sort of methods. All right, guys? They are not methods that you call. And there we got our keyboard binds. And then we have, well, we'll clean up later. There's no really any ness. I do different things with the cleanup, but we're kind of cleaning up down here on the form closed a little bit. That's okay. Yeah, okay, so here we are. We have our updates. Okay, and that should all be good. That should all be good. As long as I didn't mess up anything. It all kind of looks good. Okay. And then this, or load common. This has to do with the labels we have here. It'll look different because we're going to have a background, right? In our designer, there's no background, right? So yeah, it's hard to see. I get that. But when we run it, the background, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I'm not going to say a lot better, but a little bit better. We have our initial timer, animation timer. And then we have if the player is equal to 1. It's kind of redundant, but that's okay. And then we're going to make stage 1 true, and then we're going to initialize our timer. That's going to be part of the setup. This is part of the initial loading up. When we run it, all of this will be run. This is key right here. Very important. to have in code. Okay, again, we're working in Winforms here, right? And again, like I said, it's just quicker. Something I could do on the screen, make it quicker. And all we're doing is really working with C# code. We're not working with XAML or any of that stuff. Okay, or even OpenGL for that matter. All right. Okay, we're calling that. I think we have it. I think we're kind of at that point. So, are you excited, guys? Shall we see if the player is going to be painted? And can we actually move the player? We shall see. Don't save. I don't know what I did different there, but whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna I'll just leave that. I gotta ignore all that. Okay, ignore all that. And closing this, closing tabs. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Control home, Control Shift B. See, here we go. Look, guys, this is what I meant to bring up earlier, right? Okay, this is already done for us. I didn't have to type that. I was going to type it, but I wanted to show to you that it's actually populated for you. Okay? The program kind of does it for you. It says, hey, we're using the core, right? We're using the core. We're using the core, Bob. Why don't you have your using in there? So it did it for us. And then we can kind of clean up a little bit. We're not using any of this stuff. Anything that's ghosted is not being used. Ghosted, sure, let's roll with it. Shift B, and let's make some magic happen. All right, there we go. Player is painted. Can we move the player? All right, let's go. He's kind of funny looking. Why is it so different? He looks kind of funny. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. Oh, there we go. That worked. We're subscribed. Now we're unsubscribing. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. He's kind of doing some weird kind of twerking. I'm not sure what's up. Close this, close that. And I'm going to bring the other one over. The one that I actually... Why are the events collapsing here? So weird. Okay, so this is the one I already did. I typed it all up for you guys, so I could kind of... It's just, I was going over it. It's my guide, however you want to call it. It's my guide. Okay, everything's the same, essentially. All right. Nothing different. I don't think I've added anything different. I like how you can hover over that and it shows the image. It's cool. Okay. I'm going to build this, and you'll see that the player acts different. I don't know what's different with the code. It's really strange. See how the player is normal. It doesn't look so kind of like he's twerking. Here it looks normal. I don't know what's up with that other code. So, guys, just so you understand, right? The game that I'm working on, all right? The player movement code is quite a bit different. Okay, I'm basically using the MooICT code, his code for the movement player, and I recommend it. I like his code. The player kind of operates it feels different. It's a feeling thing. Okay, it's kind of like the game mechanics. You hear the word game mechanics? Yeah, that's kind of what it's really referring to, is player movements. Okay, I like the player movement with his code. I do. You can type his code as well. Again, if you watch the first 2 videos, I share that with you guys, right? I'm not going to share it now. I've already done it. Okay. So here's the difference. With mine, I have to kind of alternate to do this sort of stuff to make the player kind of go at an angle. Here in this code, and I'll just go down here. With this code, here's the difference. It's a feeling thing. With the player actually feels somewhat different. So it feels like you're sliding in a sense. I could go at angles, and I don't know if we need or require more images. I'm not saying I'm not saying this code that I've shared with you guys, I'm not saying it's bad. Okay? It obviously works. It doesn't feel that bad. Right? Even when I move left and right or up and down, it feels exactly the same as the code from MooICT. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not promoting him, but I'm not gonna take credit and say, hey, his code's my code or whatever, right? But I am gonna say the code that I showed you here is my code. Okay, my code I'm sharing with you. I shared his stuff just so you guys know where to get the player from. Okay, and I got my own background. It's different to what he has. So the left and right feels good. It feels natural. It feels normal. It feels great. Now it depends on your map or your layout. Okay, maybe you will have angles. Maybe you won't. Maybe your map or your world won't have just straight roads or straight pathways. Right? Maybe you'll have pathways that go at an angle. Okay? You feel me? Well, I think this code would work great for that. The code that I've shared with you. Because you can actually glide at an angle. It doesn't feel too bad. It kind of looks somewhat normal. I don't mind it. It's not terrible. But I think we need more animations for it. It looks good going up and down. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too derpy. I could press 2 buttons at the same time. I'm pressing S and D at the same time. S and D. I'm pressing now A and W at the same time. Okay? So you understand. So it doesn't feel too terrible. Just I don't know if it maybe needs more animations to kind of fill that gap so it doesn't look so clunky. I'm not trying to say anything bad, but I think it could use refinement. It doesn't look too bad going up and down. All right, that's the difference. Now I opened this one because I didn't want to sit there spending time trying to figure out what did I must have had a typo or something different in the other code because I was typing it instead of copying and pasting. It would have matched exactly. So I just opened this one. There's nothing different, right? Everything's the same. I even have the unsubscribe thing popping up. Do I have? Yeah, I don't have that other thing open though. So I could switch quickly. And let's open up this one, the one that was called connecting the chat. I'll just go like this, close, and then I'll switch, and then I'll just paste it. We'll bring up the console again. Control Shift S, close, and switch. I'm gonna delete this one. This was just for teaching purposes only. We'll expand on the other one. I need to call that method. Okay. File close solution, and I'm just gonna tell it to, I'm gonna remove that. And links level grind. I don't know, it's just what I called it. And I think I put it in here. Now, thinking of that, am I calling... I'm calling that there. Okay, here it is. Okay. Alright, so it's being called the console write line. Okay, so I should run it and I should get a console pop-up. Perfect. The event is subscribed to. Perfect. Again, you could use that for testing. Alright, so we don't have much going on. Now we're at the point we've finally got a player moving. Happy, everything's great. He's level 1. What do we do to make him level 1? I don't know. It's up to you guys and gals what you want to do with your player, your game. Use your imagination. Create, practice. Again, if you have any questions, I guess you could jump on over to my YouTube channel. Probably the best way to ask questions, because obviously you can't do it here unless you're asking on the live stream. But this is my channel over in YouTube land. I will, again, I'm not some super famous streamer on Twitch, by all means. Slowly I'm growing. It's great to have you followers, people dropping by. You're amazing for doing that. But my videos are only good for 2 weeks, so I upload them to this channel so I don't lose them. Make sense? Now, with that said, I'm going to... Actually, I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to paste the link in the stream. If you're watching the stream and you're seeing chat, it's there for you. Okay? How are we doing on time? We're almost at that time. And I'm just thinking, let's see. Hang on one sec, guys. Let me do something here quickly. Bear with me. Okay. We'll spend another 10 minutes here. I figure I'll keep the... I'm going to transition back. Okay. So I want to see if I can get the actual timer event counting down. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to need some things. Walking. I don't think I needed that. I don't know why I have that in here. So let's get rid of that. That must have been in correlation with my other code. Again, it's set up different. The code is set up, type different. It's not the same. I do have a player class. I do. But the setup's slightly different. So we need, okay, we've got that. This is in regards to movement. We haven't really used this yet. We have player height. So yeah, that's the other thing I didn't bring up. I forgot to talk about that. Right? Because you're wondering, well, I mentioned that what size is the player? Okay, so the player that's in the side of our array at position 0 or index 0, that's character 1, right? The size of the character, did I scale them? I don't think I did. I don't think I scaled them. but 56 by 56 pixels. Okay, so that's the actual pixel size. So I could open it up in Krita and do all the sort of magic I need to. I could edit the player. I could do whatever I want to. I'm not going to. I like it. Whoever, I wish I could actually credit whoever did the drawings for the player. They did a wonderful job, I feel. Maybe I'll try to find that out. I don't know. I'll have to do a little research. I don't know if... I don't think Moo ICT did them. I think somebody else did. But I could be wrong. So what I did here is I'm actually doubling the size. Okay, so that's what this means. So when I spawn the player, I'm actually doubling its size. All right. Okay, back to this. I am looking for something that has to do with the timer. All right. Where's my player? Okay, so that's above. Okay, here we go. Mario timer. Yeah, didn't I put that in yet? No, I didn't. That's okay. I'll just copy and paste it again. I called it Mario timer just for funsies. So why not? And I put that above my player, which is kind of in here. And then I'm going to get rid of the M. And it's 200 actually. And oh yeah, right, I forgot that. One other thing we need for inside here, yeah. Okay. I gotta close this. And I have to actually open it again because I kind of hit it, but it should be in here. Connecting the chat, we'll open it. I need, because I'm being a little bit lazy typer, I need this. Because the player is kind of moving funny, so I'm like, I don't want to, I'm not going to use that one. I don't want to waste too much of your time, but I did want to continue this a little bit, and it's working nicely. I'm looking for this right here, except it's, wow, that's, yeah, okay, that's right, there we go, perfect. No errors because I actually have it here in my form. Okay, and it should run just nicely and also display 200. Perfect. Okay, we've got that done. Now let's work on doing an actual countdown. Okay, there's more I could add to this. I totally can expand on it. Could add music. All right, so inside, do we have, so inside our timer tick, let's go to that. All we're doing is just updating the UI. That's the only thing we're doing. So we need to kind of count down. Well, the health could be updated. So I'll show you kind of quickly how you can update the health. You're doing it kind of through the timer tick. All right. So if the Mario timer, we still have to do the countdown, right? Mario timer. If the Mario timer is not equal to 0, right? Because you're counting down, you could do the magic, right? And then we could do the health, right? So we could add in code inside here. And we could do the health if we want. Let's see. We got nothing to decrease our health. Let me. Oh, see the other code. I fixed all this, but now it's. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. That's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. About standards. Let's see. So health. Yes, health. Health. Not very consistent here with my code. Terrible, terrible. Wow. What's up, Bob? Everything's good here. Okay, perfect. I want to do this. Okay. Right, because I have to do more. I have to, can't just do that. It's not a bool, right? Okay, if the health is less than 0, what we're going to do is we're going to clamp it. We're going to clamp the health so it doesn't go in the negatives. We're going to clamp it by making it 0. Okay, and right. See, that's the other thing, right? There we go. That's a great example right there. Now I'm getting this. Well, it's a read-only field. It can't be assigned to. You can't change it. It's kind of like a const. You can't change a const. And that's why I don't like how the program, I'm not hating on it. I'm not trying to say anything bad. But I'm not a fan of it recommending it. We're recommending that make it read-only. Not everything's going to be read-only, you know? So the health is read-only, which is not what I want. Having a look here. Yeah, it's just a standard private int. Same thing with the player level, because these values are going to change. They're not going to be const, right? Read-only means you can't write or change. It's the same as a const. Make sense? Where am I going? Okay, that should fix things up. There we go. Squiggly's gone. And then we could do like an is game over. I don't have a bool for that yet, but we could make it is game over, right? So we need a bool for is game over. Showing you the little things that you could do, guys and gals, okay? And we're gonna make it false initially. And I don't know why I didn't go like this. Right? Make it so I'm instantiating. Why am I thinking instantiating? Declare initialize. Initialize is the word I want. We've initialized it to be false. We're going to change its state. If the player, becomes, health equals 0. Why am I? See, I'm always scrolling right past. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Set. Okay. Hang on. What? Hold up. Okay, if that we're making it 0. Whoa. Okay, whoa. We're inside Mario timer. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's see what. Oh yeah, there's the timer counter. Yeah. Okay, this is an else. I should be inside an else already. So let me go like this. If. And this is going to be an else. And our timer. This is okay. So timer counter. I'm just trying to remember which timer counter that is. Then we have the Mario one as well. Which one? Hold up. Where is that one? That one's inside make items. Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay. So I'm gonna undo all this. We're not at that point for making items yet. Lots more to do. But I am going to inside. I'm just going over my other code, which is actually at 1,232 lines of code. So you understand what I'm looking through. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to copy and paste this to save some time. Is that inside? Oh, I did it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's another if statement. Okay, that's what it is. It's kind of, I don't know, but whatever. So if health is equal to 0, right? If it would, obviously it's kind of redundant a little bit, but it won't go inside this if unless it's equal to 0, which is going to be true. It's not really necessary. That's kind of redundant. Okay, just a little extra stuff that's not necessary. And then we could have a method that kind of says do something for the ending or whatever. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out, okay, I have to look for where we're doing our timer countdown. I want to try to make the timer countdown so we can actually utilize our timer, guys. And that's the reason why I'm going through this. And that's our Mario timer countdown. Where are you, Mario timer countdown? There you are. In code, I have that. Okay, that's here. Okay, that's good. I've already got that. If it's equal to 0. Okay, that's a little extra code I got going on. We're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. If it's still equal to 1, is that tied into our... Yeah, it is. I get a few else ifs going on in here, so what I'm gonna do is, let's see, yeah, that's gonna be true there. So I'm gonna have another one. Let's say it's going to be if our Mario timer is equal to 0, a couple of things, right? If that's equal to 0 and the player level is 1, because the game I'm setting up the game in code where the situation, as long as the player meets a certain criteria, then the level of the player is going to increase. So I have more else if statements, but in this case, I would do the same thing. And then I would also do like a stop timer, game over. I could do a console stop timer. Here's where you want to kind of stop the timer. Okay. And then that sort of stuff. And then inside we could save game as well, right? We could save inside this code. And then we have our UI down here, okay? And then we can expand on this, right? We could expand more else if statements, just depending on what you're doing. So now with the, okay, we're inside, okay, that's that. Now I'm trying to, I have to find in code where I'm doing the timer countdown. It's got to be happening somewhere. Where are we doing minus on the timer? Where are you? Where are you in code? Is that down here? Oh, it is too. It's in make items. Okay, well, I'll just do that. I'll throw that in just for funsies. because we are going to call the method. It's underneath update player UI. And you'll see if you do the code that WhiskeyTango shared, it has make items in there. Just couldn't recall where we were. That's in here. We're going to go right here. Okay. I just couldn't recall where that our timer was being minus. Okay, hold up. Where are you? Here you go. Okay, let's go like this. We're not going to do a lot in it. There is more code going on. We're not quite at that stage yet. We haven't done the get sprites class yet, so we can't really do any of that stuff. But what I could do is something like this. Is that all going to work? Oh yeah, okay, well, it's not necessary. We could do that. It's not necessary right now. But inside here, I'm going to do this. And this is where we're going to minus. And then I'm going to call this method. Why do I have it to string? That's wild. That's fine. It still works, but whatever. Okay, so we have to call this method, and that method is being called up inside of our timer tick events because it's continuing. It's like on a continuous loop in the sense until we stop the actual timer, right? Make items is inside here. It's inside here. Whoops. Inside here. There. Okay? Boom. I added this little extra code, right? Because I got the timer now. So it's a little bit different. And there. Now our timer should actually, in a sense, be working. The other thing I could quickly add is, it's not really necessary, but I could do this. The program's not going to know about it yet, but I'm just going to copy and paste them. That's inside here. And that's here. Okay? It doesn't know what those are yet because I haven't created them. So I'm looking for a time counter. Time counter, which is the if statement, which what I was going to add earlier, and then I kind of chose not to. So I'm trying to kind of get to this quickly here. So the else if is inside. Is that correct? Hang on. No, it's not. It's direct connected. And then, okay, that's inside an else. Okay, this is all inside an else. So I'm going to go like this, if, and then there's an else here. And all of this is inside this else. So I'm going to just copy and paste that right into there. And then we're going to do the timer counts. And I can actually display that as well. And I'm going to go like this. Like this. And we actually have to I have to put those up in code here so the program knows what I'm doing. I'm kind of working backwards a little bit. Okay, the time counter, which is in see, I'm just getting my bearings here in code. It's above this. It is under, I don't have boundaries yet. It's underneath cons. Okay, it's in here. Other sprite. There we go. So other sprite. So I need that one, and I also need that other one, which is the spawn time lapse. That's the other one I need, and that's here, and it's underneath this, and then underneath that is the time counter. Okay, good. Okay, so that's all fixed, hopefully. Hold up. Yeah, I need that label. That's the other thing I need. So I'm gonna just kind of copy it to speed things up here. That label is time count test. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna paste it. So just so you guys can see it, right? You'll see it counting down here shortly. Once we get to that point. And location, I'm just gonna put it somewhere down. Did a copy instead of a paste. Okay, there. Okay, boom. Got the label. Alright, and that should fix things up here. Boom, that's fixed. What else? What other issue is going on here? Why am I not seeing it? What? Okay, hold up. I've got I got something here. I just can't see it. It's in my face, but I just can't see it. Oh, it's right here. What did I do here? What you doing there, Bob? That's the problem with copying and pasting. Let me look at the code here. What did I do? Why do I have an extra set of curly brackets? It should still work. Oh, okay. There's one singular one. That's why. So you can do these sort of things. You can create like an extra scope. This would be called an extra scope, but it's not necessary. I just had a curly bracket I must have copied by accident. Okay, so that's going to be our timer counter. It should display through our timer tick event. So this has to do with the items that are being spawned. Okay, it's the cycle timer for that. Okay, everything should be hopefully working now. I want to finish up here because I think that's long enough for this stream. And let's have a look. There we go, boys and girls. Working magic. All right, happy. So you can see clearly we now have the time countdown. And down here is just a label for testing. Testing only to show the spawn timer. And each time it hits 0, it'll spawn a new item. Okay, and that's the code that I was kind of showing you guys earlier in either in the first part video or the second part. So if you check it out, you'll see now you know how to kind of do a timer and a countdown. Alright, that is it, guys and gals. Now, I appreciate every single one of you that are watching. I hope I didn't bore you too much. A little bit more serious mode, I guess, today. Just trying to get it done. Lots to do, right? So, the more I goof off and joke around and talk about different things in life, well, it's just going to make the video way too long. I know what I could be like. It's not you, it's me. Yeah. Whoops. It's not really doing that either. It should be doing that in code. I thought maybe it would automatically lock. As you can see, the player could be in any position when I stop. So we can set it up where the player is always facing you. I thought maybe that's what we're already doing, but no, it's not. It's through code. That's okay. That is another day. Again, I hope you enjoyed watching. Again, you can try this out yourself if you like to. That's up to you. It's fun. Once you kind of get it going and working everything, it feels good. I am Johnny D2. I know I changed kind of my names and stuff a little bit and channel stuff. Kind of doing a rebrand. D2 is my actual, when I started on Twitch, that's my original gamer name. So it's not new. I went back to my original gamer name. Okay, I was just tired of the other one. The other one, I don't know. I don't want to go down a tangent, but D2 originally. I'm D2 originally. Why I changed it, I have no idea, guys. No answer. I look at it and it's like, that was stupid. But that's okay. I rebranded the YouTube channel because I wanted to, and it kind of suited me more, my lifestyle. And anyways, you have that channel if you want to check it out. Again, the content on Twitch, eventually, you know, it's there. It'll be there for you to watch for the first couple of weeks, and then it's gone. If you want to watch it again in the future, you just got to stop on by Bologna&Weiners Coding on YouTube. I'm Johnny D2 also is my gamer name. You guys take care, and thanks for watching. You're all awesome. Appreciate you. Thank you also for the subs and the follows. Well, the follows is really what I mean, because they're not subs. I don't know. But anyways, a sub actually kind of sounds good right now. That is it. All right, I'm going to shut it. You guys take care. Whoever you are, wherever you are, have an awesome rest of your day, evening, noon, or night. All right.